Hey everybody, you're about to listen to an episode that we recorded with guest Game Master Eloise Corvo, and in it we're going to mention her book that has just been released. Except, due to circumstances out of anyone's control, there's been a delay in publishing, so I just thought I'd put it in the episode now to give some context. Rather than giving you a link to go and buy the book now, there's a link below to Eloise's website where you can get updates as to when it is coming out and follow along and get it when it's available, hopefully in not too long. I also wanted to mention, Danny and I were on another episode of Drunkard's Walk. So if you want to go and check that out, there's a link to that below as well. It's a fun show. It'll be the third time we've been guests. So go and check it out. It's a great show where you travel from one Wikipedia entry to another using as few steps as you can. It's always great to be on it, so it definitely comes with a recommendation. All right, I will let you get into the show. Bye. Welcome to Escape This Podcast, a show that's a mix between tabletop role-playing and escape room puzzles. We're halfway through-ish season 16? Ish, perhaps. Who knows how long season 16 will go? It'll go for 3 years, this one. Every episode we have a guest and we have an audio escape room, and I say it that way because this episode, much like some previous episodes, but not all of them, a guest game master has come on with their own escape room that Danny and I are going to play. And that guest game master is Eloise Corvo. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Bill. Hi, Danny. Thanks so much. Good to see you.
We're very excited to play this room. Now, part of the reason we're releasing this episode when we are releasing it is the fact that you have a book. You've got a book out that people can go and read and listen to because it's 2025 and books can be listened to. Only this year.
And it sounds like the sort of audiences that listen to this show would be interested in the sort of content that you're making.
Yeah, do you want to give a rundown of what your book is?
Yeah, so it is a cozy mystery filled with little puzzles and clues, which is, why I'm here. I think game mastering, if that's a word, and writing murder mysteries overlaps a ton. So I'm super excited. I sort of gamified the setting of the book for us to play today.
Yeah, so this escape room is tied into the universe of your book?
Yeah, for sure.
How many characters are we going to meet where I'll be like, this person sucks? And you're like,
they did it.
But I love
they
them.
did it.
They're the main character.
Oh, all of them. No,
Awesome.
3 characters
Right.
from the book are in the game today, so you get to hang out with them. And maybe if
Wonderful.
all goes well, I'll write you into future books. Who knows?
Yeah. We'll also be in the future books. I'm going to make my character really memorable. I'm a little urchin.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Damn, that's so boring. What about this? I'm a tiny businessman. I'm only 10 years old, but I own the largest multinational corporation you've ever seen. I sell pelts. It's a pelt
Fits your
selling
universe,
operation.
right?
Totally.
And I'd kill to protect my operation from the people who want to take it from me. I'd kill them all, but I didn't murder him. No, sir. How's that? Good?
Perfect.
Good character? 10-year-old pelt
Perfect.
trader? Perfect. Okay. We'll put him in the book.
Will do. Taking notes.
Thank you. Every time we have a guest...
Name of the book.
Oh,
It's probably a good idea.
Yes, and what's the name of the book?
Off the Beaten Path, a Stone's Throw mystery. And we're playing in Stone's Throw. It's the name of the town. Where all
Nice.
these
Love it.
All right, I'm going to write Stone's Throw.
If you had told me that Stone's Throw was an Australian town about 4 hours south of here, I would believe you.
Oh, huge. I love it. Stone's Throw is a wonderful town name. Though it is better that it's the name of the town and not just like someone is dead and whoever did it must be within a few meters from here. What about this guy? He's got a gun and bloody hands. How far away is he? Oh, maybe a mile away? No!
The way that some of that some murder mystery titles work is that what would go there would be
The detective name?
exactly
Jonathan
like
Stone's
Glass
Throw.
Onion. I mean, it's not how it works, but like Glass Onion, you could say a Benoit Blanc mystery, that sort of thing. So I was sitting here going, all right, I'm really interested to hear how Stone's Throw gets to be turned into a normal sounding character's name.
I think Jonathan Stone's Throw is a good name.
That's great. Hey, maybe that's who the town's named after.
Yeah.
I'm taking notes, guys. You're going to help me write the sequel.
We're expanding the lore. Wonderful. Well, look, we're very excited to play the room, but first, every time we have a guest on the show, we ask the same 2 questions. This is an escape room show. What is your escape room experience?
I've just been obsessed with them for, I don't know, years. When they started becoming a thing, I was all about it, and I've probably done 24 rooms or so, if I were to guess, in person, and then all of the like little online little puzzle ones you can do, like web-based ones, I love also. So I've written a couple rooms like this, like what you guys do, that I've
great.
just played with like friends and family. This is the first one that I've ever like shared publicly, but yeah, just love them. They're
That's nice.
super fun.
And not only that, that clearly means that you have people around you who are also willing to do them, which seems to be a big stumbling block when it comes to hobbies like this.
Well, not to get ahead of your second question, but I play a lot of tabletop role-playing games, and a lot of those friends, I feel like, overlap in this universe too,
Nice.
Right? So,
Wonderful. Well,
and stuff.
What a perfect transition. This is escape rooms done in a sort of tabletop role-playing style. What is your tabletop role-playing experience? I've heard you play a lot.
I do. I've been playing in a weekly game for like a year and a half now, which
beautiful.
I feel like is so consistent and amazing.
Wow.
I don't know how we do it. It's crazy.
That's fantastic.
So crazy. I started playing in COVID era when everyone was on home and online, and I learned how to play D&D in 2020 and have really just kind of gone with it since. I play more than I DM, but every once in a while I'll jump into the GM chair.
That sounds like the perfect situation. You want people who aren't always game master and sometimes are, because that means that people who are always game master can sometimes play.
Oh yeah.
It's a perfect little connection. Well, how wonderful.
I appreciate you doing that for me right now.
Yeah, exactly. You're stepping into the driver's seat. You don't step into a driver's seat, but that's what
You're flopping into the driver's seat.
You're flopping into the driver's seat.
Yeah,
of
that's
this
more
podcast.
accurate here.
Well, I think with all that being said, I think knowing we're about to do our own little stone's throw mystery, why don't you take us away?
All right. So it's Wednesday, and in the rural town of Stone's Throw, Michigan, that means spaghetti night. Pop's Bar, the beloved local dive, offers only pasta and sides for dinner every Wednesday. Literally, you can't order anything else. It's a treasured tradition that feeds basically the whole town every single week. You two, having grown up here, are no exception. As a side, are we playing as Bill and Danny, or do we want characters? You can each be your own character.
I'll play as great-great-grandson of the town founder. My name is Matthias Stone's Throw, and I'm a 10-year-old pelt salesman.
Well, I'm going to be Michelle Monaghan, who Michigan was named after.
Whoa.
Nice. Michelle and Matthias?
Oh, please no, I think we'll just be Bill and Dan.
Okay. I'll do it.
If you remember the names, you can call us by them and we'll forget them later on.
All right. Okay. You two, having grown up here, are no exception. This week, father and son bar owners Kevin and Eli Nett have agreed to graciously donate some of tonight's profits towards the big, wild state park adjacent to town. There's beautiful sand beaches and towering dunes along scenic Lake Michigan. The park's gone through some budget cuts, though, and really needs every penny they can get. It's a little desperate. As frequent hikers with plenty of time on your hands, you two volunteered to help put together the fundraiser. It's not a big lift. You're just setting out a donation jar, stringing up some balloons, that sort of thing. Nothing too capable folks like you can't handle.
Mm-hmm.
You walk up to the bar about an hour before dinner service is set to begin to start checking off your to-do list and make sure everything's all set. The bar is actually locked, though, and so you knock on the door, and Maudie Lorso, the park's head ranger, lets you in. Hey, thanks so much for coming. I have some decorations on the pool table if you wouldn't mind setting them up too, along with anything else that you brought yourselves. She's got a jump start on the event planning and already set out some flyers and park information about trails and maps and things like that. Behind her, you see bar proprietors Kevin, who is behind the bar washing glasses, and his son Eli, who you can hear banging around in the kitchen out back. Lottie resumes shuffling about while you two get to work. As you start unpacking your bag of party supplies, Eli runs out from the kitchen, panting loudly and kind of looking a little frantic. The tomatoes! The tomatoes! I can't find the tomatoes! These were special ones from my garden. I needed those tomatoes tonight. He looks about the room and rummages through some shelves underneath the bar, kind of nudging his elderly dad out of the way. He face palms and says, "Oh, right. I hid them from Dad." You hid the tomatoes? Marty jaunts over and pats his arm. Why the hell would you do that? So he wouldn't use them for something else. He has such a bad habit of going rogue back here. He gestures towards the kitchen and laughs. I'll help you find them. I'm sure they're around here somewhere, Marty replies. After you watch them search the place, not a tomato in sight, Marty approaches you two and interrupts your tacking of streamers along the bar's perimeter. Hey, Bill, Danny, could you help us look for these tomatoes? He really wanted to put on a great fundraiser, but I'm kind of worried about him right now. I'll calm him down with a pint, but could you try and find them? They have to be around here somewhere. You know, he's a bit of a puzzle guy. I wonder if he hid them and just forgot about it. He hides stuff from his dad, who deviates from the menu and throws off grocery shopping. She rolls her eyes. She then ushers Eli into a booth in the corner and puts a full pint glass in front of them both. As the event planners, it's up to you to rescue the fundraiser and figure out where Eli hid his own tomatoes in time to cook the pasta sauce.
I get it. I mean, we have to, when we make spaghetti bolognese, every so often the supermarket gets rid of the tomato paste that we like and we have to change brands. And it's terrible. It makes a difference every time and it's always worse.
True.
I can imagine wanting your own tomatoes.
All right. Yep. So we're on a tomato hunt.
All right. The roughly square room is pretty big. The actual bar top spans along the northern wall. Peering behind the bar, you see a swinging door and a window that looks into the kitchen. The door is on the northeastern corner. The eastern and western walls are lined with big booths.
Oh, like sitting booths.
Yes.
I'm curious about what other sorts of booths you thought.
Kissing booths.
Oh, sure. Oh, yes. I see.
Kissing
That's
booths.
A good point. This is a fundraiser.
Next to the eastern booths are 2 pool tables that have both seen better days. A few arcade games butt up against the southern wall in the southeastern corner. The door you came in on is also on the southern wall, more towards the southwestern corner of the room. And the entire room is cluttered with tons of old photos of friends, family, events throughout the decades. This place has been here for a long time.
I'm assuming on the walls and not strewn about on the floor, which is what I was about to. Oh, and the rest of the room, I'll just start drawing here.
And then lastly, the majority of the room is taken up by just 2 long community tables rather than individual restaurant tables. They're already set for dining service.
Okay, Danny, we got to find some tomatoes.
Well, I know that any good puzzle-loving person is going to hide clues for their tomatoes in the high scores of some game machines. So I want to go straight there.
All right, let's go straight to the arcade.
All right. So there are 3 games, all classic movie themed. The first is The Exorcist, with a big image of a priest holding a cross. It looks like it's having electrical issues, though the actual screen is off. You can't even really tell what kind of game this is, and some of the lights keep blinking on and off. A big out-of-order sign hangs on the joystick. Another is a Scream-themed pinball machine, if you're familiar with Scream. Big picture of the ghost face killers.
I thought you were about to ask if we were familiar with pinball. I was like, yeah, no. I know what that is.
The Ghostface Killer stares back at you. This one also has an out-of-order sign. Nothing blinking, it's totally out. The only other one that's still working is a Pac-Man-esque game that looks like Stephen King's The Shining. All work and no play make Jack a dull boy. The voice rings from the machine, followed quickly by 2 young girls. Come play with us! Come play with us! It just cycles on repeat.
Beautiful.
Is this one in order? As in, does it work?
In order, yes.
Danny, do you want to play some Shining Pac-Man?
I would love to, but first I want to say I was trying to save time by abbreviating these out-of-order signs that I drew and just doing the initials. It's not interesting.
Ooh.
Yeah, let's play some Shining. I mean, we're being told to. How do we deny that?
Yeah, let's play it.
So you approach the game, grab the joystick, and realize that the playfield of the Pac-Man game is actually the winding hedge maze in the back of the hotel
Nice.
from the movie. You play around, try your best to rack up the points, but you can't really keep up. A Pac-Man-ified Jack Torrance wielding a little axe comes
I drew
up
a little
behind
axe
you.
already.
Well, he comes up behind us.
Where it goes?
Yeah, he's
I thought we were going to be Jack Torrance and the ghost we were chasing down was our family. And we were chasing ghosts of our wife around trying to get her with the axe.
No, we're Danny.
Yeah,
know
that's
this.
fair. Okay.
You run up, you run down, left, right, but you can't escape him. Here's Johnny. He yells. "Brr, brr, 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 brr." You die. And then on the screen, "Play The Shining" dances across, almost taunting you to play again.
This feels like a puzzle, but also not one that I know the answers to.
No, it's very organic, if it is.
So I think we leave it alone.
Yeah, all right.
I'm just noticing The Exorcist was described as having a big cross, so it could be like a giant plus sign. So maybe we need to add the number of skulls to the number of shinings, and then we end up with the solution to where the tomatoes are. I'm just putting it out there. Just thought I'd note some iconography here.
Is there anything that we can note on that Exorcist one about the various flashing lights of them? Is there something noteworthy about that?
Yeah, you can definitely look at it a little closer and just look at that flickering light pattern. There's no mechanical things for you to mess with or touch with, but you do realize that not all of the lights on the machine are flickering, just the ones on each of the points of the priest's cross.
Ooh.
It's an important cross.
It follows a pattern.
Oh, because it's like a joystick directions. Danny's like a D-pad.
Interesting.
Okay.
Goes top, right, bottom, left, top. And that repeats.
Okay.
That's good to know.
Up, right, down, left, up. Can we try that? What if we did that with the joystick? Even though the joystick is labeled as non-operational, could we use the joystick on that machine to go up, right, down, left, up?
No, the screen's totally out of order.
I wondered if this would give us a better way of playing The Shining.
Could we use it to play The Shining better? Could we go to The Shining and go up and then right and then right and then down and then left and then up to get through the maze?
For sure. Using the arrow sequence, you dodge Jack and his axe, weaving through the maze like experts. Dun da da da! You win. A screen pops up, prompting you to add your name to the high scoreboard. You've come in third. The first place winner's initials are R-E-D. The second is R-U-M.
Makes sense.
Red rum!
All right, what's a good thing that we can add to this?
Well, it's murder. So
Whoa, we don't know that. It's a racehorse.
Backwards, it's murder. So we should name ourselves Dab, D-A-B, for bad murder.
All right.
Danny and Bill!
Oh, it's perfect.
We'll be Dab.
Amazing. You're immortalized in this shining machine until
There's
someone
also a
else.
chance that it's all been a fun bit, and when we go to the bar, there's some kind of red rum.
Definitely could be.
And
I totally wondered if there was going to be a sound system somewhere and we needed to play a song called The Shining.
Well. All right, so we know that all we got is access to the fact that the top two high scores are red and rum. Or R-E-D and R-U-M.
Tomatoes are red.
And rum is a drink.
Yeah, we've got some things to work on here.
What about this Dab character? And so I'm assuming the numbers that they got are not relevant.
Correct.
Cool. Okay, red rum dab.
All right. I think at the moment I don't recall anything more to look at with the Scream one. So
no, it
maybe
didn't have flashing lights, did it?
No, it had nothing.
It's just
so
got
maybe
a picture of the
maybe my
Ghostface
game
killer.
corner's tapped out for the moment.
Yeah, let's go somewhere else. Why don't we check these pool tables?
Great idea. Oh, tomato instead of a pool ball. So believable.
That's it. All the tomatoes are in there.
Ooh. So there are two of them. One is racked and ready to be played. The other is covered in your fundraiser decorations. So when you dropped off all your things, put them there. Maudie also put hers there. They're actually the decorations that, if you're looking at the clock, you should be starting to put up right around now.
Well, we can't do everything at once, guys. God.
Yeah. Can we check the pockets of the pool table? Anything interesting inside?
No, but if you open the image pool table, it might just give you a little bit of insight into what's going on. This is a pool table that has a ball return system. So you can't just reach in and pick the ball out of the pocket. They fall down and kind of come out in a cutout in the side of the table where then you would grab them and put them back on the table. So you can fish your arm in there. Nothing seems to be unusual.
Now, I have no idea if pool balls are typically set up in a specific order, but looking at these pool balls, the way that they are set up in the triangle, the numbers feel like they could have been deliberately organized in that way. I don't know what this order would be. It goes from the top and then going down in rows. 9, 7, 12, 15, 8, 1, 6, 10, 3, 14, 11, 2, 13, 4, 5. And if that's just normal pool setup and everyone organizes them that way, then
I think as long as the black ball's in the appropriate space and then you're kind of alternating-ish between stripes and colours.
Solids.
Oh, stripes and solids. I think you're fine. I don't think you have to put the numbers in any kind of order.
Oh, it all looks very appropriate as far as I know. But if those numbers are suspicious or usable, that's also good to know. But I can't see anything with them yet.
Yeah, they don't seem anything strange.
No.
And nothing else really looks super interesting in this pool table.
It looks very normal.
It just looks like a pool table. It doesn't have all the markings that some pool tables have.
All right, so instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to take the mental flash of what this looks like to see if the overall vibe, the overall picture of it feels like it's going to come up again later. Like if we can turn on the Scream game and it turns out that the layout of the game looks a lot like this somehow.
Yeah, true. Maybe we'll find another image that kind of reminds us of this and we can relate them that way. Because
You
as of
never know.
now, this looks like you could have just asked me to draw a pool table.
Very plausible.
And we'd have got the same
It
thing.
looks like a pool table.
Interesting.
Again, if there are things that we're supposed to be spotting hidden in here, they feel
We haven't.
it feels awfully organic.
So
Everything is believable.
What about the one with our decorations on it? Are there...
Should we sweep them aside a little bit and see if there's anything interesting about the table?
Yeah, or look at our own decorations. Is there anything interesting about those? Can we examine our decoration table?
Yeah, why don't you guys tell me what you brought?
We brought furs from my trapping company.
If I have to immediately pick things and just go, okay, what around the house looks like streamers? I have a bizarrely large shawl and scarf collection that I've just inherited over the years. I don't wear shawls and scarves particularly unless I'm overseas visiting the snow, but I have a lot of them and some of them are bright colored. So I probably
a
brought
bunch
them.
of Danny's scarves and a bunch of pelts and furs from my fur trapping company.
Amazing. And some park trail maps that Maudie brought. What a party.
Oh yeah, that's right. This is
That's
about a park. I forgot. And also we cut down every tree in the park and we brought it in here to decorate.
That makes the maps a bit less important.
It
You can see
does.
everything just when you step outside.
Exactly.
Should we pick up a map, take a look, see if it's all in order?
Yeah, sure.
Nothing of note. You guys know these trails? You grew up here, like the back of your hand. It's just a park map that you've seen, probably made 20 years ago, and they're still printing the same copies.
Okay.
Lovely.
Danny, we got to keep looking around. We're wasting time here.
I don't know. I just kind of want to ask, hey, Michigan parks, what's the bear situation?
Danny, we're wasting
There
time
are-
here.
There are black bears here.
Okay.
Not big crazies. They're almost like they're really occasional, not all the time. But they're around. Little black bears.
Bears are wild,
they are
man.
adorable, terrifying monsters.
Oh yeah, the cutest thing in the world that you should never touch.
That's how I feel like koala bears too. They're just like evil
Yeah, but,
little
like,
gremlins.
If you
Like, are so
if you
cute.
touch a koala bear, nothing bad's going to happen to you. It might be bad for the koala, but you'll be fine.
Yeah, a bear could kill you pretty easy.
A bear's going to get you. A koala bear's going to very, very slowly
Fascinated by the
walk
fact
away.
that you're calling them koala bears every time.
Oh, I only did because I was picking up on the use of the word. It just happens.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just mimic what other people
Yeah.
say.
I've never hugged a koala, but certainly a thing that people do.
What the hell's a koala? Do you mean a koala bear? They're not even bears. They're so wild.
And yet
There is-
their scientific name has like fake bear in it. So I think it's reasonably valid.
I'm gonna here's what I'm gonna pitch to the world. There is no animal that more closely resembles the stuffed animals that you make of them than a koala. A koala looks exactly like a toy koala.
Except apparently they can stink real bad.
Oh, they smell much worse
Ugh.
than a toy koala, but they look exactly the same. There's no like they just feel like you look at one, you think that's a stuffed animal someone's put in a tree. It's got fur coming out of its ears. It's got no like there's. It looks like it's in a
Nose is
sack.
way too big.
No, it looks like its whole body is in a sack. Like it doesn't have any kind of like joints or it just sort of like flomps around. They're just stuffed animals.
They're
On the
definitely
flip
stuffed
side, have you seen sun bears?
Oh, they're also
Oh, the
look like
ones that are
hilarious.
humans?
Just people in a suit. Weird.
Crazy. Bears.
Where were
man.
we? That's
Okay.
right. Trying to find
Where were we?
some puzzles, Danny. Let's look at the door that we came in through.
That makes sense.
Anything cool on the back of the door?
The door is all glass, and taped to
Ooh.
it is a picture of a red fish with a smiley
Okay,
face.
great. That's super important. I'll note that down.
I'm intrigued that it's a glass door. That's cool.
Okay, I'm ignoring the door. What would you like to look at, Danny?
The other door.
Oh yeah, the one to the kitchen.
Yeah.
Can we get to that door to the kitchen, or are we
Yeah,
are we
can
barred by
we
the
hop the bar?
Yeah, you don't need to. You can just walk. There's
Alright.
like a little path.
Well, yeah,
like,
let's check out the door to the
absolutely.
kitchen. That's where the tomatoes would be. I don't know why we didn't check there first.
The kitchen door is like any commercial kitchen door. It swings both ways. There's no lock or even like handle or anything. You can just sort of kick it down if you're carrying a tray of food out. And on the top of it, there's a window. So you're welcome to just peer through and look, or, nothing's stopping you if you'd like to walk through.
Let's peer first in case there's a black bear in there.
It looks just like a typical restaurant kitchen. A lot of stainless steel, metal surfaces, very organized, and a lot smaller than the main bar area. You can tell it's just basically Eli trying to do his best back here.
Okay, shall we go in?
No, they were already checking the kitchen. That obviously they looked in there first. We've got to look at this whole place.
All right, can we look for some red rum? By which I mean, can we look at the bar?
Absolutely. You can also open the bar image too.
Ooh, bar.png.
Ooh, that looks
wow.
fancy. This looks like it could be puzzly.
Oh, now this is a puzzle. Okay.
All right, so we've got lots of taps.
Yes, so are these bar stools that we're seeing in front?
They are. There are 5 bar stools spanning the wooden bar top. In front of each, there's a pint glass, and behind the bar, friendly Kevin is washing glasses, stacking them neatly in shelves. Can I get you guys anything? Thanks so much for your help today. I know Maudie really appreciates it. It's just like
So,
old man.
Nah, we got to keep our wits about us.
Yeah, if you could find me a big crate of tomatoes, that'd be great.
Look, one of those drinks is red.
That is true.
I don't trust this. Where'd you get the red for what I assume is a Bloody Mary?
Probably
Where
the
did you get
Irish-
the red?
It's probably the Irish red.
Ooh.
So, yes, so we see these 5 bar stools. They all say stone's throw written on the metal pole of the bar stool. And then they each have a pint in front of them of a different color. Black, red, white, brown, and kind of goldy
Lightish brown, gold.
Honey. Brown and honey.
Beautiful. And let's take a look. So I got to read these sideways, and
So
I'm a little bit far
there are
away
only
from the screen.
There are only 5 pints, but there are 11 things that you could pour. There are
Yeah,
11
Let's look at our
taps.
choices. Ooh,
Number 1,
stout,
number 2,
vodka cranberry.
Number
that could
3.
also be red. Hard cider,
number 4,
raspberry margarita. That could also be red.
number 5,
IPA,
which stands for,
India Pale Ale,
number 6,
seltzer,
which stands for, number 7,
Blue and stormy.
Number 8.
Irish red.
Number 9.
Brown ale.
Number 10.
Violet nightmare.
Number 11.
Absinthe.
Which is green.
Violet nightmare?
Yeah, who's ordering the Violet Nightmare? And why is that on tap?
Like, a lot of these I know are real, so I assume that they're all real. And that's terrifying. But okay.
So, one would think, right, looking at the first one, which is a black drink, it would probably be a stout, which is a black drink.
I could agree. I don't know how far into that I would go, but I suppose we can just always ask Kevin for advice if we need it.
True.
And we can just try to judge. But the red drink, there were 3 things there that sounded red. I don't know how we could pick which
Yeah,
one.
right. There's a cranberry vodka, a raspberry margarita, and an Irish red. The white one, you would assume might be
Just seltzer.
seltzer. The brown one could be a brown ale.
It's brown. Surely it could be anything.
And this pale one could be
golden
an
one could be
India
anything.
pale ale.
That's true.
I wondered if we would want to figure out what drinks they were, take that nth letter, so stout is 1, IPA is 5, and take that letter of the word stone's throw, which is written beneath them, to create a 5-letter combo. So, like, if that's a stout in front of the first stool, you take the first letter. In fact, how many letters in stone's throw?
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
11 letters in stone's throw, 11 types of drink.
Oh my god.
So that we're sequencing the word stone's throw by the pints that are in front of the stools that say stone's throw on them to get a 5-letter combo.
You guys are looking at these taps and watching Kevin kind of wash glasses. And as you sit down on one of the stool sinks under your weight.
Ooh.
Interesting.
To what level does it sink?
Yeah, can one of us sit and one of us look?
Yeah, absolutely. Assuming that you are of general adult human size.
Beefy.
I guess Bill, you're paying as a 10-year-old.
I'm 10, but
businessman.
I'm weighted down by the backpack full of pelts and furs.
Excellent. Adult weight of any sort of, on any side of that spectrum, you sink almost like eye level with the bar. And
Ooh.
Danny, as you're watching this,
How much of the
you
word stone's
see-
throw remains?
You see a little cutout sort of at the base of the stool that goes past the W. It's just looking at steel. But you do realize, like, with different weights, perhaps that would be roughly letter sized, that cutout.
Oh, interesting. Would we want to set them to appropriate weights?
Interesting.
To make them spell out the thing? Is this also sort of the input of the code that we find?
Could be. Oh man, so many things that we can look at. So many things.
This
to
just
think
feels
about.
almost like we could just solve it straight away.
Well, depending on which direction we go by. Because if we need to place certain weighted things on stools, we don't have weighted things.
I mean, that's also true. I mean, I've got a big backpack full of pelts.
Yeah, sure. That was the intended solution.
All right. Well, we sort of vaguely... Let's keep looking around. We can come back to this if we get stuck somewhere else.
This
Because
is
it
true.
feels actionable.
Yeah, let's look at everything.
But we can
this
action
feels
it
like a
later.
good place to come back to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's look at the big fancy tables.
Yeah.
The big fancy tables are pristine clean, ready for dinner service. Madi must have prioritized these first because they are set. They have nice little maps folded in front of each placeholder. They feel ready to go. Best not to mess these up.
I pulled the tablecloth off without messing anything up.
Is it worth doing a quick peek under the table, looking at undersides, floor underneath, all of that business, just to make sure we don't miss anything?
Sure, you can crawl around. Everything seems in order here. Nothing seems to be of
Nice.
note.
And the plate settings look normal and consistent. Not like
Yes. Yep.
knife, fork, knife, fork, fork, knife.
Nope.
Okay. All right, these are tables.
Lovely.
Shall we look? I think the booths are the last major thing for us to look at.
The wall decoration.
And the photos, right.
Yep, booths.
Can we look at, and if you need a choice, we will look at the eastern booths, but otherwise we'll look at all of them.
Excellent. Yes, there are 6 booths that line the wall. They're very big. You would guess they could sit maybe 7 or 8 people, like large groups. They're all upholstered with cracked maroon leather and Eli is sitting with Maudie at one, close to the bar, nursing a beer and just kind of chit-chatting with each other. As you kind of walk around and see each one, you realize that they're all clean. They're not like set and kind of fancy like the tables are. Each one has a menu, which you can look at that
Ooh,
image.
yeah, let's have a look at the
now.
menu.
I'd love to look at a menu.
Ooh, all right. We have 6 menus, and Danny, do you see? Do you see?
Oh, I love it.
Each of these menus it has a particular design. Sure, they say stuff on them. We'll get to that in a second. But they do have at the top a big triangle that says Pop's Bar. And what does that triangle remind you of, Danny?
Oh, I mean, you see triangles in so many places, but I've only drawn one so far.
On a pool table where
On a
there'd be
pool
balls wrapped.
table.
But is there anything else on these that reminds you of a pool table?
You know what?
Why, yes, there is.
I suppose these are rectangles, and in their corners, what's going on in those corners?
They
There's-
each
there's
have
something there.
Some of them have coloured semicircles in the corners, some in the kind of middle walls. Basically, all in various places that a pool table would have holes.
Okay, so this is pool table.
Okay, let's
They're
move on.
coloured.
Let's stop
so,
doing the fun bit.
Yeah, it's making me like want to go. Great. So if there's in that top corner near the triangle, great, and it's yellow. Let's put a yellow ball in there. But do we do all of these things?
Well, so here's the
Or-
thing. Each of these menus has a different layout. So for the first menu has like dark red in the top left, blue in the bottom left, no other holes highlighted. The next one has yellow top left, bright red in the middle right, and green in the bottom left, but no other holes highlighted. So they all have different holes highlighted with different colors. I think maybe we should read what's written on each of them.
I disagree. I still
Oh.
don't think it matters yet.
But there's different stuff written on them.
So like, those colors match the number of balls, I assume.
Oh, do you think
All
1,
of
2,
them.
3,
We
4,
can
5, 6,
stack them
7, 8,
all
9,
on
10,
top of
11,
each
12,
other and
13,
do
14,
all
15.
of them.
Okay, we could do all. There are 15 coloured things, so we could just do them all.
We could.
Do you think there's an order relevant?
Okay, fine. We can read the menus.
The first menu says, today's special, striped bass grilled cheese, soup and salad combo spaghetti and meatballs.
Okay.
Today's special, on the next one, sorry.
Striped
Today's special,
bass.
striped bass grilled cheese, soup and salad combo spaghetti and meatballs. But on the next one, there is no
No striped bass.
no striped
Exactly
bass.
the same, but no
So
striped
that
bass.
helps us determine when there's like a solid orange and a
Yeah.
striped orange, which goes where.
Yeah,
So-
three of these have the striped bass, 3 of them don't.
All right, so I'm gonna read out the solution, and I hope Eloise you're keeping track. Danny, let's
All right,
drop.
you,
Let's go.
You yell at me, I go to the pool table and start grabbing.
We're gonna go. Let's go through it menu by menu. So first we
Do you
take.
want to open the pool table so I can
Nah.
give them my numbers?
Okay, I'll open both at once. That's gonna be so much harder.
Okay.
All right, so to start with, I'll do the first menu, and you can do the next one.
Okay.
We're going to take the number 15, a dark red striped ball, into the top right pocket. I'm going to call it.
Going
I'm
by
going to go on
pool
menu.
table.
I'm going to go by menu orientation, not pool table
Oh,
orientation,
okay.
where top left equals top right and bottom left equals top left. It's very confusing. The rotation, I'm just going to go by pool table rotation.
I got it.
I'm going to go
You're
by
good.
menu. I'm going by menu rotation. Menu rotation.
Yes.
Where the triangle is in the top middle of the pool table.
Okay,
All right.
understood.
Everyone playing along at home because that's what's written on the menu. Here we go. Based on pool table or based on menu orientation. Here we go. Number 15, the striped dark red in the top left, and then
Number
10, the striped blue in the bottom left. Next menu.
Wait, before
happens?
you hear
Ka-chunk,
the
ka-chunk.
clanging in the table, right? As the balls make their way through the ball return. And instead of 2 balls coming out, only 1 comes
What?
out with the letter G on it.
Outrageous.
No numbers.
G.
Okay.
Okay, next
Well,
menu.
Next, we want striped. So yellow stripe, that's number 9 in the top left, number 11 in the middle right, and number 14 in the bottom left.
Clunk, 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 clunk. An R rolls out.
Brilliant.
All right, next one. Solids. So I want number 6 in the top left, the black, the number 8 in the bottom left, and the 5 in the bottom right.
Amazing. Same thing. Bunch of clanking noises and an I. Letter I.
Right, I'm glad you said same thing, but then followed up with a different letter. So I thought,
Same
GRR?
noises.
That's crazy.
Okay, next back to solid. So we want number 7 in the top right, number 4 in the bottom left, and number 2 in the bottom right.
Yep, now you have an S.
Oh, I was hoping for an N. I thought we were going to spell Grinch. I don't know why. Okay. Next, I'm going to go... we're back to solids again. That doesn't mention the striped bass special. So it is number 3 on the left and number 1 on the right.
Yep, you have an L.
Gristle? Okay, Danny?
Okay, so back to stripe. So we want 13 in the top left and 12 in the bottom right.
Amazing. The remaining 2 balls in their right pockets, you get a Y.
I was worried about
Oh, grizzly, not gristle.
this. My bear talk was so relevant.
It's
Okay.
like premonition. Yeah.
The answer is grizzly.
The answer to what?
The answer.
Hmm.
It's just the answer so far. So the booths and the pool table together got us grizzly.
Or gristly.
Or
You could have
grizzly.
been right.
You're right. It's a grizzly, not It's grizzly. It's grizzly.
This is grizzly like a grizzly death, less like a grizzly bear.
How do you spell grizzly bear with double Z's?
I thought so.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is
Zeds.
grizzly like something is grizzly.
This is our grizzly murder, our grizzly red rum.
Oh, grizzly
I don't like
red
where this is
rum.
going. This is upsetting.
This started as like, find my little tomatoes. I've lost all 10 of my tomatoes. Can you find them? Your grisly murder is coming.
I gotta be honest, that's possibly my favourite style of game. We've been talking about that, and I've been saying, hey, if we make this game that we're now in discussion of, we're going to need someone who can do, like, the happiest little elves in horribly dead, murdered positions. Who can do that for us? So, yeah, that's definitely my style. All right. Pictures on the wall?
Oh yeah, there are photos on the wall. Let's check it. Let's look at these
Look
photographs.
at these walls.
Photos of the community cover the walls, including people you know, like Eli and Maudie. And you guys are even up there a time or two, attending various events, taking down pints. As you reminisce, looking at all the beautiful images, you realize that some of them are hanging in sort of a rather strange orientation, and some are just empty frames, which is a little odd. So that is the wall hanging image.
Wall hanging. For people at home, you can see all these in the show notes yourself. Ooh, it's like a crossword. Okay, Danny, would you like to describe what you're looking at?
This looks not like a... like, there are lots of rectangles. They are an interesting orientation. Some of them are a little crooked. But the way that they are sort of lined up with each other, it's a little bit like a crossword, but I want to say that the one I associate it more with is a word fit, I want to call it, which is where you have an entirely blank-looking crossword grid and then a list of words at the bottom. And you just have to find where they fit with each other, making sure that the overlapping letters all work correctly.
Now, we already have 2 of these words.
Possibly.
Grizzly and murder.
We might have grizzly and murder.
And I'm looking at these. There's only 2 of these lines that are 6 letters long, right? The one going vertically and the one going horizontally. And they share either the final/second position.
Ooh,
That means
could be an
it's got to be murder going right, ending with the R, and grizzly
going down.
with that as its second letter. So I think if we're starting to fill out this grid, it's got murder written across and grizzly written down. Can we take a big pen and write in on these empty frames?
Absolutely.
Right. I'd like to, with a marker, on the glass of the frame, so I could rub it out if I need
Yeah,
to.
what kind of decorations are these?
It's a celebration of our town's history. Do you know the founder murdered 10 people in cold blood? That was my great-grandfather, Jonathan Stone's Throw.
Beautiful. Oh man. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna
This is good.
I'm gonna make a little grid over here. I'm gonna copy it down so I can fill it.
Okay.
So the third letter of what I'm gonna say is murder. Is part of a vertical going down, so it's the third out of 4 letters of a vertical there. And the last letter has grizzly built off it. And then the fourth letter of grizzly is the first letter of another 5-letter word.
For Stabbo.
So we're looking for a 5-letter word starting with S, which we're going to get from the stones
bar
throw
stools,
bar
you think?
stools, where the first one set to number 1, because I thought it was
Okay.
a stout, is the first letter of stones throw, which is S.
All right,
so that
then I
sells
guess,
that to me.
Stabbo is out.
And then we need a 4-letter one where R is the third letter. I don't know where that's going to come from, unless it comes from the Scream pinball
Well, we
machine
haven't even been to the kitchen.
or the kitchen. But we're on our way.
Okay, I feel like kitchen.
We're on our
Kitchen is now good?
Okay, before we go to the kitchen, do we think we can do something with this bar? Let's go to the kitchen. I'm not going to second guess you.
Kitchen.
Let's go to the kitchen.
All right. Kevin gives you a little nod and
I
he
ignore
lets
him.
you
Thanks,
walk
man.
through the
No,
kitchen.
don't talk to Kevin. He doesn't even know where his tomatoes are. He's part of the problem.
He is part of the room. But the kitchen is just like a typical restaurant kitchen. It's maybe a quarter of the size of the bar room that you were just in, and you walk through the door into the southeast corner of the room. In front of you, taking up the eastern wall, is a dishwashing station. In the middle of the room are 2 large metal shelving racks.
Lovely. Somehow my metal shelving units have come out looking like coffins, and I don't know how that happened. Which is good, because I can't draw coffins. We've been over that before. Look at
You
them.
just draw shelving racks.
Yeah, you kind of drawn coffins.
Amazing.
The western wall is taken up with the appliances. So you have a stove, an oven, a refrigerator, that sort of thing.
Lovely.
In front of the appliances is a large metal prep table. And there's a ratty rug on the floor in front of the prep table between it and the appliances.
Ratty rug.
All right, Danny, what would you like to look at?
Would you ever put a rug in your kitchen?
I would never put a
Let's
rug
look
in
at
my
this
kitchen,
rug.
especially not one that's described as ratty.
The rug is a plain gray rug that's probably been here forever.
Did it start grey?
That's a good question. One that you do not have the answer to right now. Yeah, it's on the ground.
I lift it and I find the key that's
You're
underneath.
touching it.
With keeping your distance, you lift it up. The backside of the rug is normal, but under the rug, in the floor, you see a razor thin cut mark in one of the floorboards in the shape of a small circle, maybe like the size of a baseball.
Can we remove that section of floor?
Picking at it with your hands, no, it's too thin. You can't really get under that. But you also see as you go down to get up in there, there's a larger rectangle cut mark surrounding it. So
Oh.
the circle is inside of a larger rectangle, maybe the size of a modest coffee table.
Wild.
Okay.
And can we pry that up?
So we need some sort of either prying or
Su-
fitting.
Oh, you
in
think something goes
tool.
on or in the circle?
I'm not sure, but I'm hoping we'll recognize it when we see
I
it.
feel like we need a plunger to up the circle.
Interesting. Okay. I suppose we should look at these coffins.
All right, the coffins. There are 2 kitchen shelves. They're big in the middle of the kitchen, industrial, taller than you guys. One is filled with beer of kegs and cans.
Oh, okay.
And the other is mostly spices and other ingredients for different recipes.
Would you like to look at one or the other, Dan? Do you want to look at the beer first?
I guess.
Because it might relate to our puzzle of
You
the
know
bar.
what? You're right. If there are kegs and cans and things, those would be, surprisingly enough, different weights. That makes sense. That's a good idea. Okay, let's look at these beers.
Look at the kegs and cans.
There are 2 types of kegs. The smaller of the 2 has a note in permanent marker that says 36, just the number written on it. All of the kegs of that size have that number. The larger has a similar note that says 48. Besides kegs, there are also 6-packs as well.
Mm.
And peering closer, you see just on the shelving rack itself, not on any particular can or keg, it says 6 per, P-E-R, on it.
Interesting.
6 per. What?
And so the kegs aren't labelled with anything other than the numbers? They're not stout 48 or
No.
okay.
This to me implies like again, going from an organic perspective, I would say, oh cool, this keg would be the same as 36 beers.
Could be.
But I assume we're gonna have to do some moving
6
numbers
per.
around.
So like a 6-pack is 1 times 6.
Yeah.
A small keg is 6 times 6. And a large keg is 8 times 6?
That's my immediate interpretation, which feels very real world believable. How it gets used for puzzles, we'll get there. Alright, how about these spices?
Yeah, spices.
The spices and other assorted things, ingredients, are organized neatly in rows in little jars. And you have a spice rack image.
Ooh, so many
Beautiful.
spices. For people at home, you can follow along and have a look at this image. Danny, would you like to describe this spice rack?
Yeah, it's exactly
might have
as
to swap it off.
specified. There's just a lot of them. 3 separate rows of these things. Pacini, brown sugar, celery, dill, Earl Grey, fennel, garlic, honey, Italian herb. That's the top row.
Juniper, ziti, Oreos, mango, nutmeg, ancho. Oh, put some bloody ancho on it. Lavender, rosemary, quince.
Tea, kiwi, unsalted nuts, vanilla, wasabi, XO sauce, a favourite on Australian MasterChef, yam, and sardines.
And there's a missing space in that bottom one. As in, there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's always 9 of them
Well, I think that's just for a very good reason.
because they're going to be alphabetical.
Yeah, because like that's just there are 26, and 26 doesn't divide nicely by 3.
That's fair.
But-
so there's 26 of them.
Yeah, I can tell immediately looking at the top row. These are mostly alphabetical order, but there are some that
P, B, C, D, E,
yeah.
F, G, H, I, J, Z, O, M, N, A, L, R, Q, T, K, U, V, W, X, Y, sardines. No. Okay, so do we want to just take the ones that are out of order and write them down in an interesting way?
Let's see what happens if we do that.
So that's a P for Pacini, which is in the A space.
Yeah, I'm not like.
And then B and C and D and E and F and G and H and I and J are all fine. But then a Z. Oh, this is bad.
Yeah, a Z is in. Wait, the J. No, IJ. That's fine. Z is in a K space.
And then,
O is.
the O is wrong.
Yeah.
Because it should be L. Then M, N, A. And then where P should be, there's an L. Q and R are backwards.
Interesting.
And then S is not right. And then Q. Okay. There's a lot of these. U, V, W, X, Y. All the letters that are in their wrong places are P and Z and O and A and L and Q and R and T and K and S, which doesn't spell anything. We could put them back in their correct spaces and see if anything happens. But I don't quite know what we would get out of this. Do you know what I mean? Like the P is where the A should be. Is the A where the P should be?
No. A
It's
is
where the O should be. So they're not like swapped with each other explicitly.
They're close. Like
The
they're all
Z is where the
obviously
K
little
should be,
closed
but the
loops,
K is
but-
where the T should be, and the T is where the S should be, and the S is where the Z should be. So, like swapping them is not like there's not something clear and patterny that's happening there for me.
Terrible. Hey Eli, do you want us to fix this for you? It's fine. It's just a little bit annoying. Surely you feel that, right?
He pokes his head through, looks at the spices, and you can rearrange them if you want. It doesn't matter to me. I think Kevin just got in here and cooked something and just didn't put
Kevin.
things back in the right place.
Come on.
Everybody doesn't know where can't find the tomatoes. He keeps
Care about the alphabet.
he doesn't care about the alphabet. I hope he's the victim of the first novel set in this town.
Ouch.
Nah, Kevin's fine. Don't worry about it. He's a good guy. Really, it's Eli's the fault. Drumming in the kitchen when he should be working, hiding tomatoes.
Well, Eli set up this whole puzzle. So I assume that we should try to reset the kitchen back to what he wanted, to how he would have originally had it before Kevin got his mitts
sure,
on
we
it.
can. We could rearrange it if you like. Put them in
I
the
don't
correct
think it will
spots.
necessarily do anything, but we have made notes of where the problems lie. We've got a picture of where the problems lay. I don't think there'll be any harm in fixing it up at this point.
Can we fix them up? Anything happen? Does it magically, the whole shelf sinks into the ground and is replaced by a million tomatoes?
Oh my gosh, how nice would that be? No tomatoes here. You can rearrange the jars, but nothing, no magic clicks, no confetti cannons, nothing happens.
Cool.
All right, just a couple more things to look at.
Okay.
Dishwashing.
Let's look at the washing up area.
The sink is filled with disgusting gray-brown water. Bits of food are floating in it. You can like smell it from feet away. Compared to the rest of the kitchen, which is immaculate, this is like kind of gross. You can see the edges of
Gross.
some dishes under the surface of the water, but you're not exactly sure. It's too dirty enough to see
Yeah,
clearly.
you've already touched the disgusting mat.
Yeah, what happened? Can I pull the dishes out?
Stick your hands all the way in
Can I
there.
stick my hands in and interact, or is it too disgusting?
You can do whatever you want. So, reaching in, trying to plug your nose, you reveal 4 dinner plates, each of which look like they had a different meal on it. But all of the food is sort of grayed out from being in the dishwasher. So, you might need to get in there a little bit closer.
4
to
plates,
discern anything.
4 letters
4
in a
plates.
word where R is the 3rd letter. This could help.
All right. What's going to be the best way to identify this, if not by sight?
I don't want to lick these plates. Besides, they're all being commingled in a group of water. Are the plates different in any way, or only by what's kind of was on them? They're not. Are they marked any differently?
No, they just look like the standard restaurant plates, just plain white kind of ceramic plates.
I mean, we could check. You never know. We might get more hints, like at the prep station or something, about what foods have recently been dealt with, something like that.
Yeah, let's just leave this
But
for a
we
moment.
also know it's spaghetti night.
Yeah, it's also spaghetti night.
Let's look at the last couple of things.
Yeah, let's
and
get
we'll
all the
organize
information before we
ourselves.
worry about solving puzzles.
Yeah.
So I suppose can we look at the prep table?
The prep table is neat and organized. It's mostly just the shining stainless steel surface that's looking back at you. There's a random assortment of like kitchen things. There's a knife block, a stack of dish towels, and Eli's recipe notebook sits on top as well. A pen is clipped to the spiral of the notebook.
Can we look at these recipes?
There's plenty of empty pages. It's not like it's filled, but the first handful do have some recipes and a couple of grocery lists, that sort of thing, just like his daily notebook.
Cool.
You do notice that he has a list and has sort of categorized his most commonly used ingredients. So it looks like he's got things into the following categories.
Right.
I will just message this to you guys in the chat if that
Okay.
works for you. I
Cool,
can
cool.
read it, but I think you just might want to have it
Yeah.
visually as well.
Oh, okay.
All right. So.
Ooh, okay.
So these are all these spices from the big spice list, and it looks like he has the categories: fruity, herbal, spicy, sweet.
salty, umami, floral.
Cool. Shall we sort of make our own? Do we want to note these down in any way? So, for example, the fruity ones are mango, kiwi, and quince. Mango, kiwi, quince. But we also know they've been rearranged slightly. So what would that mean? Like, if we look at the spices, mango is in its appropriate place. Kiwi is where the U should be. And quince...
It's where the R should be.
So, myrrh.
Oh, man. Not again.
Let's do that. Let's keep doing this. So fruity is myrrh. So I'm going to write this out. M-U-R. And then we have herbal. Celery, dill, Earl Grey.
Those are in the right spots.
They
Wait,
are.
no, an Italian herb and
Italian
rosemary.
herb, rosemary. Celery is correct. Dill is correct. Earl Grey is correct. So that's already C-D-E. That's kind of nothing.
Yeah. Italian herb is correct. Rosemary was not correct. It was in the Q spot. That doesn't feel like it's done anything.
No, that's C-D-E-I-Q. That's nothing. Okay, great. So we can stop doing that after we got myrrh. What if we only pick, and if we only pick the ones that were in their correct space, we'd have M-C-D-E, which is also nothing. Spicy, though, ancho fennel garlic, where the ancho is in...
And nutmeg wasabi.
and nutmeg wasabi. So 1, 2, 3, so J-K... L-M-N-O. That would be O...
Yeah, A was in the O spot.
O-F-G... N... Okay, this doesn't do anything.
It doesn't do anything yet.
Okay, it's almost
I mean,
something.
look, maybe it does. We're not seeing it yet.
Let's keep looking around
Okay.
to see what else there is to solve.
Yeah.
Although, actually, how many categories are there? 1, 2,
Two,
3, 4,
5, 6.
5, 6. We're not looking for a 6-letter word.
Okay.
I think there's 7,
Oh, was
but
there a
that is
seven?
not
Yeah.
relevant. I'll say that.
I don't think I
Doesn't
counted
matter.
floral.
All right, let's leave this for the moment because there's there's obviously something there.
Yeah.
And starting with myrrh was scary, but I think we're all right for the moment.
Okay, so now we've got to look at the appliances.
Yeah,
I will note that surface was very shiny, reflective. We might use that later. You never know.
Oh, so it's not myrrh, it's
rum again.
It's WN upside down R. Okay,
Let's look at the appliances.
let's look at the appliances. Are they separate looks, or can we look at the whole suite?
Can look at the whole suite. The stove and the oven are in use actually right now. So we have what will be spaghetti sauce here hopefully in a minute. And the oven is toasting up some garlic bread. They appear totally normal. Eli keeps coming back every once in a while just to stir what kind of base sauce he has, onions and chopped celery, things like that. But he's kind of in the middle of using those things.
Just waiting
The
for
fridge,
tomatoes.
where you might naturally find tomatoes, appears normal. Inside, no tomatoes, which is a bummer. It's covered in eclectic magnets, maybe like your own fridges at home.
Oh, yeah.
And I believe that's the last image. for you all.
Ooh, magnets. Okay, we got magnets. There is
Okay.
on the freezer section at the top, there's a 2, there's an 8, and there's a lovely beach scene.
Then there's a chubby little bird.
Chubby little bird, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, a picture, a magnet
That's a
that is a
horseshoe.
magnet,
Yeah, that's a magnet.
a magnet that's a little teddy bear,
Did we
and a
get
magnet
picture of
that's
a
like a
slide?
kid's slide
What
at
do
a
we
park.
do with this?
28 bird slide. 28 bird. Can we do a 28 bird slide? It's my favorite move in Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Yeah.
Beach bird slide bear?
Beach bird slide bear. Magnet.
I have no idea what to do with this.
Beach bird slide bear magnet. They're coloured as well. The 2 is
They
black.
are.
The 8 is lilac. The 1 is brown. The 2 is pink. The 3 is purple. The 4 is blue. The 5 is grey. The 6 is teal. The 7 is maroon. Does that help?
Doesn't help me.
Yeah, wow, I have no idea.
Okay.
There's a
Now we
bird,
are
a
sitting.
beach.
Now we have hit the point of, great, everything's been looked at. Now we definitely have to start solving stuff.
Okay, here's
The
my
only
thoughts.
thing I would say
Yeah.
is that you do think you could glean maybe some more from those dishes.
Yeah, I don't
Yes.
understand the dish situation. It's like there's dirty water and 4 plates, which could have had food, but right now they're all just dirty, wet plates. I don't understand how to distinguish. Is there still food scraps on the
Sniff
plates
'em.
themselves?
Sniff those food scraps hard.
Yeah, there
Can I-
are food scraps on the plate, but they're just kind of like all mushy and the color's gone away. So like,
So
from
if I'm
looking
so for
at
example,
them,
if I made Danny lick them,
you might learn something.
you'd be able to taste it. Danny, lick these plates.
How much are you paying me?
I will give you 10
Pelts?
pelts.
I could use some pelts. All right, let's get in there.
Ha ha ha, everybody. Danny doesn't know I'm going to give her the rat pelts. That's basically 1 pelt, and it's terrible quality. She didn't. What now? If you need to learn about business, make sure you set the terms of the deal right. All I agreed to was 10 pelts. Danny wasn't specific, and she'll be
This is
punished
what I
later
get
on
for
for
doing
it
business
by
with a
getting
10-year-old.
10 rat pelts. They don't expect the pelt salesman to sell rat pelts, and that's their flaw. They always forget. Everything has a pelt.
All right, Bill, will you dupe Danny into tasting these plates? And Danny, between gags and gray water dripping onto your shoes, you can confirm that they each taste different.
Excellent.
But the specific flavors are hard to suss out. What you can discern, though, is that one tastes umami,
Nice.
another tastes spicy,
I love it.
the third tastes herbal, and the last is a little fruity.
Because it ends with myrrh. All right. Does it help if we do them in that order and do what we were doing before?
I hope that I didn't do them in that order because I got to tell you, if I tasted the spicy plate, I'm not tasting anything on any of the others afterwards. But good to know. Okay.
Let's start with umami.
All right. What have we got? Umami
Is
is
porcini, unsalted nuts,
exo sauce.
exo sauce.
Just pucks.
But
the P was the one that
porcini
was
is
out
not in
of
the
order.
correct. Oh yeah. So yeah, P is out of order. So let's look at how these actually order.
The P was in the A spot and L was in the P spot.
So
I'm getting either orcs or lux.
So yeah, it's either if we go by what spot it's in, porcini is actually A, unsalted nuts is U, and
Exo sauce is X.
so AUX.
Either AUX or LUX, depending on whether we're doing where P is or what is
What is in the
currently
P
in P
spot.
spot.
Okay, so it's either orcs or lux. I
Yep.
see. All right, AUX and LUX.
Where's that spicy
Eli
sex?
pokes his head in real quick and it's like, I think you guys might be overcomplicating this
I
a
know.
little bit.
That
Oh,
sounds
okay.
like us.
Let's ignore the entire alphabetized part completely and just write PUX.
You can just write PUX, but
Feels wrong. Spicy.
I've looked at the spicy section.
What's the spicy section?
The ancho, fennel, garlic, nutmeg, wasabi.
That's AFGNW.
Exactly. But it could be just like circle the one that was wrong out of that. Could also be that.
Yeah,
So which ones were wrong? A was wrong.
A is wrong.
I think that's the only one.
Fennel, garlic, nutmeg.
I think all the rest were right.
Okay, so it could just be PA right now.
That's
To
okay.
get one letter for each plate.
That's all right.
We
can
know we need
handle
a
that.
4-letter word.
We
So
do.
we're hoping that in herbal, the only one that's out of place is an R.
That would be great. Herbal, celery, dill, Earl Grey, Italian herb, rosemary.
Celery, dill, Earl Grey, and Italian herb are all correct, and rosemary's out of place.
Yes.
PA.
Eli gives you a thumbs up through the window.
And then fruity was
Mango, kiwi, quince.
yes. I thought 2 of those were out of order.
No, so did I. Maybe we've miscounted.
Mango is in its like JKLM. That's correct. Kiwi is wrong. That's in the U section, which would make park. But I'm pretty sure quince is also wrong.
Because it's sort of swapped with the
Yeah,
with the
JK,
rosemary.
JKLMNOPQR have been swapped. So I think technically quince is wrong, but maybe we ignore that and we just make it park rather than park.
I
Q.
agree.
Yeah, I should fix. I'm sorry, that's an error on my end. You're right. Park is correct.
All good. So let's go for park.
Great. That was the third letter R. That was one of the ones that we were hoping for to fit
fits in our
grid.
picture board. I run back out with my permanent
Brilliant.
marker. Murder, park, grizzly.
We should have been writing this with XO sauce the whole time. Much better than permanent marker.
No, that's crazy. Now, if it was Pedro Jimenez, that's just random Australian MasterChef things. Okay. Murder, park, grizzly.
Great. Okay,
So-
that's another word.
All right, and so we're done with the washing
out of
area and the
here,
spices
Kitchen
and the prep table stuff, except unless we need towels and knives
and reflective surfaces.
and reflective
Yep.
surfaces. Does the fridge reflect beautifully in the surface of the prep table?
Oh boy.
No, the fridge is just like washed steel, not reflective.
Okay, we have a fridge. The fridge seems to be by itself, right?
Mhm.
We also need 5 letters for a final word, and the fridge has 5 pictures on it.
pictures. You make an interesting point.
You also remember about those bar stools.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we haven't. That's right. That's where we're
the
going to
other
get the 5 letters. So this fridge doesn't matter at all. So let's ignore the fridge.
Well, what's the other? Do we still need another word as well? We need another 4 letters somewhere.
No,
as
we're
well?
done for the pictures. We got murder, park,
Oh,
grizzly,
we just need one more word.
and it's going to come from the bar stools. We
Okay.
figured that. We kind of figured that out already. But how
Well,
do
could
we?
Be both.
Sorry,
Could be both.
it could be. I don't think it is. I think it's going to connect just to the kegs. The 6 per.
These things could all go together. But all right, yeah, we've got these 6 per.
I know. Maybe it's like 6 per number, right? We need to get weight. So like a stout is 1, right? We think that stout is 1.
Okay.
So
That
if
would
I took...
explain further.
Okay, so I'm looking at the first stool.
Yeah.
It's got what looks like a stout in front of it.
Perhaps.
And it needs a certain amount of weight to put on it.
Mhm.
I would say because stout is 1, it is 6 sort of thingies per number. So a 1 gets us a single 6-pack, which is 6 times 1. So we put a 6-pack on the first stool.
Okay.
If, for example, one of them was an 8, like an Irish red, we would put a large keg on it.
Okay, I see what you mean.
See what I mean?
Sure.
Which is 8 times.
We may need to use Kevin to do a bit of confirmation about what some drinks may be. I'm not going to taste these people's drinks.
Can we try this? So can we go to the first stool and put a 6-pack on it?
Absolutely. Grab a 6-pack and the seat of the stool just shoo a little bit. Not nearly as much as when you guys sat down. And in the little window cut out in the metal at the base of the stool, the S that's stamped into the
Nice.
Right.
the base of the stool is squarely in the middle.
That's what we wanted. S for Stabbo.
S for Stabber. We want the first letter to be S,
Great.
which is great. Now, that is also just the first letter. So we might not have needed to do all the keg stuff once we identified the drinks, but maybe not. We'll find out. The next one is a red drink, which could be a couple options. It could be the vodka cranberry, it could be the raspberry margarita, it could be the Irish red. I'm assuming Kevin couldn't tell us what it is, or maybe he can.
He can pour a beer for you. Can I get you something? You want to taste something?
I would
Yeah.
love to try an Irish red.
And I'd love a vodka cranberry.
He pours each of you. Are you old enough to drink?
No, I'm 10, but I am the pelt king of Michigan, so do it or I'll close this bar
Good
down.
enough for me. He pours it for you. Billy, your vodka cranberry is much lighter. It's like a pink. And Danny, yours matches pretty close. It's like a ruby dark red sort
Excellent.
of color.
Beautiful. Can we put a single large
Big old keg.
size 48 keg on stool number 2?
Absolutely. The stool sinks down to the H in
Which is
throw.
also the appropriate letter.
Right, so it's not Stabbo, but it is Shivo.
So I think we could possibly leave the kegs, but we'll keep playing. The next one is white, so it's got to be. Is it just the seltzer? Can we try and grab a single small keg?
You can. That actually doesn't seem to fit very well. The seltzer goes farther than what you think should be there.
Oh, no.
It also like that. If the 6th letter would be an S, which doesn't feel right. So what else could be white? Is hard cider white? I don't think so.
Let's try it. Wait. Kevin, sorry, I've changed my mind here. I just remembered I hate Irish red. Can I try a hard cider?
Yeah. Sure, he pours you a hard cider, and it is almost like that champagne color.
Ah.
Beautiful.
okay.
So that's 3. So we'd
Learning.
need 3 6-packs.
Okay.
Boom, boom, boom. And you get an O.
And we get the O. Awesome.
Okay.
The next one is the dark one. I'm assuming that is a brown ale. Could we put a large keg and a 6-pack to get 9 lots of 6 for the brown ale?
Absolutely. Kind of teetering now. We're stacking things, getting a little tall. It sinks down pretty far to the R.
Nice.
Right. And finally, we thought that this might have been a pale ale.
Yes, that's probably an IPA, which is 5 lots. So annoyingly, we're going to need 5 6-packs.
Aw, so inefficient.
Wait, I take a small keg and then I empty out a 6-pack and then I
you
pour
You dip the 6-pack into
until all the
the keg.
cans are full.
That's how kegs work.
And
You
then I
lift the
throw
lid off
them
and
away.
dip things in,
And
right?
then I get my knife from the prep table and I whittle away 1/6 of the wood that makes up the keg. And now it should be the same weight as 5 lots. And I put that
This
that
was
on
the quickest way of doing it.
Yeah, and I put that on the final.
Absolutely. Yeah, and you get your E.
E.
SHORE, sure. That fits into
Okay.
our grid. Now,
Hey
Murder Park
Eli.
Grizzly Shore.
Eli, you did put you put this all together, right? This was something that your brain did. Anything we should know?
I don't know. I'm so frazzled. I do kind of remember the magnets. I think the magnets really they're like the last, the key that'll unlock.
Right.
So it makes sense, right? So the magnets have that same, right? The bird is a crow representing
Oh,
murder. The slide is at a park representing park.
Sure, we've got a picture of a beach.
The
That's
bear
shore.
is grizzly, and the beach is the shore.
Okay.
Can we take those and put them? No. What do we do with them? How do we make those match the words that we've got in a grid?
Yeah, we've definitely got these good connections.
Looking at these images, you notice that a couple of the numbers might color match.
I did notice that, but the beach one was frightening me.
So do we take the second letter of park because the bird is black and the 2 is black?
Why park?
Sorry, murder, which is a U.
Yeah, could be.
The shore is blue.
Yeah, see that one that one concerned me because it's so colourful. There are so many things going on there. I would try the other letters first.
Okay, the slide is kind of a pinky red. It looks the same as a 2.
Yeah.
Which is a park, so it is an A.
The bear is this sort of mottled grey,
which looks the same as the 1.
That's a G.
Which is a G.
Okay.
And then the shore.
What do you reckon? 4, 6?
Well, it doesn't have 6 letters, so let's go for 4 and say ah. Wagger. Rug. It's a rug. Rug.
No, not the rug. We haven't dealt with that rug business yet. You're right.
It spells a rug. So we go and look at a rug.
Well, we know.
And we know that underneath it there's a circle and a square carved into the floor.
I forgot about that. Wait, can we take the last magnet, the one that's actually magnet shaped, and like hover it around?
Yeah, let's use the magnets to magnet the circle.
In the floor?
Yeah, absolutely. The magnet kind of clinks against that circular bit, and as you place it over the cutout, you feel the wood pop up out of its place. You lift it, and you can then sort of pry, now that you have a grip, the rest of the rectangle open, and you realize it's on its hinges, so it's like a door in the floor. Beneath the floor, a thick wooden door is revealed down a set of rickety stairs. You can't go all the way down. There's like a piece of plywood that's sort of, after 3 or 4 stairs, it's cut off, but there is a 4-letter lock on that.
We put in a rug.
A rug.
A rug doesn't work, but you think you're close. A lot of those same letters are in the lot.
Guar.
Okay.
We got UARG.
Yeah,
UAGR.
but we didn't put those in a good order, did we? We just sort of made it up.
What says a rug?
Yeah, but we made up the order.
Yeah, but what else
what
could we
rearrange?
rearrange
What did it say on the fridge? What was the order on the fridge?
Oh, from the top to the bottom?
Yeah.
UAGR, I think. No, maybe not.
We skipped some.
It's R.
Oh no, what if this is a type of tomato and I just don't know it?
The R from shore.
I checked. You guys should have knowledge of this word. I did ask some Australians.
Oh yeah, that doesn't mean anything.
It's ragu.
Oh.
Ragu. Like a pasta sauce.
That
like
makes
ragu.
a lot of sense.
A rug. Ragu.
Click, click, click. The precarious staircase down goes maybe another 6 or so feet. The dilapidated stairs are boarded up again even further. But right in front of that barrier sits a large wire basket filled with dozens of plump ruby red tomatoes. Hooray!
Nice.
Maddie and Eli appear behind you and shout in excitement. They found the tomatoes! Eli, get your butt in here and start cooking. The fundraiser kicks off without another hitch, raising a little chunk of change for the park. It's not much, but every bit helps. Thank you both. She gives you each a big hug as Pops closes up for the night. We couldn't have done it without you. Next week's spaghetti is on me. Nice.
Amazing. Eli, how did you forget about this?
Come on, Eli. It's a pretty big place to hide stuff.
I'm not mad. I'm worried.
Maybe I hid it in my creepy floor safe. You know how the floor opens up to a creepy extra room where I store all the tomatoes? No, it couldn't be. I won't even look. Thanks for listening to Escape This Podcast. Stay tuned for next week's episode where we discuss the escape room we just did with the guest we just had. This podcast is kept afloat by crowdfunding, so if you enjoy the show, why not support it on Patreon? There's weekly bonus audio for our $5 donors, monthly videos for our $10 donors, monthly trivia for our $20 donors, and anyone at any level can appear as an NPC in one of the rooms that Danny designs. And thanks again for listening.